Welcome to Business Purpose and Clarity with Petri. I'm your host. We talk about startup life, insights, practical tips, mistakes, failures, and everything between. Are you making your investor deck? Is it time to update things and get some new investor money? This episode talks about who is your customer. Who should you target your deck? I have a spoiler alert in the beginning. Investors are not your end users. Surprise. So please don't make the deck for them. They're not your customers. If you please your investors, because that's the way you think to get the money, I think that's a terrible idea. You may get some investors, and emphasis is really on the some investors. But are those really the investors you want to get? That's another topic for another day. I understand that sometimes you have to sell a story, or always you need to tell a story in order to get the funds. And it should be a great story. It should be a story you are actually delivering and not just a story. Because if you have too many stories, one for the investors, one you're actually doing, and maybe a third one, you are in trouble because you are not consistent. And if you're confused, everybody's confused. I would not worry about making it look pretty for the investors because they are professionals, or at least some of them are. And those are the ones you should target. So you should purely focus on the end users, the customers, and explain your business case, the value, what is it, what you provide, why is it important, and so on and so forth. Investors will get the major points from that because they're really after the returns. Is this an investment for me? Do I believe on this market? Do I believe on this company? Do I believe on the business case? Do I believe on the product? Do I believe on the team? What are the biggest risks? How likely it is that this will become a successful company? These are things on the investor's mind. They are not really about the product. Yet, I remember one occasion where there was a product, it was a hardware product, this is many years back. There were angel investors, some had already done many deals, others less. And the product was something which was targeted, well, let's put it this way. The investor who was looking at the product was listening to the pitch. The first comment was, I don't really see myself using this. And he didn't finish the sentence, or the implicit message was, because I don't understand this, I'm not in the target group, I don't think there's a market for this thing. The irony of the situation, of course, is and was that obviously he was not in a target group. But it doesn't mean that it's not a great product. He just couldn't think that anything which he personally could use is of any value. So yes, there are investors, there are people who don't really get what you're doing. And they're just probably looking at the numbers and trying to figure out whether to make the bet or not. Gamble their money with you because they have nothing else to offer. If you want to get those type of people, feel free. But it may get you in trouble later on because they don't really understand what's happening, what are the dynamics and the drivers in the business. Once again, when things get rough, and they will, they may not be supporting you. They might stick to the words you said before. And of course, nobody knows what's happening, and situations are changing. They may become afraid. And if they're not really experienced investors, and maybe they don't have that much money, or some other ways they feel threatened and they would really like to get their money back, they can start to do some desperate things, which may jeopardize your company. In more plain language, they could shoot on their own leg, and they don't realize it. And that's really sad. And I've seen it occasionally, and it's never fun to explain to someone why they should not do something which is against their own interest. It's really frustrating, so don't go there. There's another reason as well why you should not focus on the investors, convincing them of your business case in a language and in a story and in a way which is not really what you're doing. It's because it's diverting your focus away from the thing what you're supposed to be doing, which is focusing on the solution, focusing on the end users, getting more customers, making it so good product that everybody who is in your target market love it and buy it. Investors are distraction. Yes, I know you need money, you need to do that, but it's away from building the company. So keep that in mind as well. Do you really want to have different messages for different audiences because you think that's the way to get the money? Yeah, maybe it works. In my case, I don't believe on that. One more thing. Explain it to me like I'm 5. If you can make your deck, if you can make your pitch so easy to understand, if you can make the storyline so good, so thrilling, so exciting, that even a 5-year-old can understand it and listen to the whole thing and love the idea, the storyline, then I think you may have a chance with your investors as well.